Rowena, you have fever. You need to rest.
I hear voices from the other side of the room. Do you hear them too?
No, we are alone in the room. It's just you and me.
It can't be that way. I swear someone is calling my name. There is someone in the room. Really, can you hear it?
Trust me, there is no one in the room besides you and me. It's just the fever you have.
That person is moving toward us. Tell me who it is.
You need to sleep. I promise there is no one in the room. The room was filled with a phantasmagoric effect, as well as an artificial introduction of a strong continual current of wind behind the draperies, giving a hideous and uneasy animation to the whole. However, it seemed that, as the long night passed, Rowena was finally well, and as I woke up and got back to my senses, my room's door opened again.
How was your night?
It was crazy. Rowena had fever, and she started hallucinating that someone was in the room.
Rowena?
Yes, my second wife. She left early in the morning because she was feeling better.
Oh, I see. Well, you know why I'm here, right?
My medicine.
Exactly. Stay still. Remember to keep calm and avoid getting out of your bed and your room, okay?
Okay. How was I supposed to stay in my room doing nothing? I didn't care and went to eat something at the cafeteria. I saw the doctors talking between them and looking in my direction, but I didn't care. As I returned to my room, I started losing my senses again. I was lost in my mind again. I felt dizzy again. The golden ornaments, the chandeliers, the high walls with the tapestries, the ebony bed and the sarcophaguses were there again, as I never left. When I entered my room, Rowena was laying on the bed. Apparently, a second more violent disorder threw her upon a bed or suffering, and there were no signs of her recovering.
The voices, the sounds, I can hear them clearly.
Keep calm, Rowena. No one's in here.
Why don't you believe me? I hear the sounds across the room. They are calling me. They are telling me something. Look! The tapestries are moving. No, someone is moving them. Can you see it?
Love, the tapestries aren't moving. It's the wind.
But I see it. The person is walking around.
Sometime later, I remember where was deposited a decanter of light wine, and I hastened across the room to get it. But as I stepped beneath the light of the censer, two things caught my attention. I felt that some palpable, although invisible object had passed lightly by my person, and I saw there lay upon the golden carpet, in the very middle of the rich luster thrown from the censer, a shadow, a faint of angelic aspect. As I reached the wine and held it to the lips of the fading Rowena, she had now partially recovered, and took the wine herself. However, as I had my eyes fastened upon her, I felt a gentle footfall on the carpet, and near the couch, and in a second thereafter, as Rowena, in the act of raising the wine to her lips, I saw fall within the goblet 3 or 4 large drops of a brilliant and ruby-colored fluid. Rowena swallowed the wine unhesitatingly, and I decided not to tell anything to her, as everything could have been part of my own business along with the hour, which, by the way, I was feeling normal again.
Good night. I'm just making sure everything is alright here. The other patients have been saying that a lot of noise has been coming out of your bedroom in the past 3 days.
Rowena is about to die as well.
Alright, enough! You can't continue like this.
Continue like what?
With all your wife's tragedies, do you want to know why did you try to kill yourself?
I don't need to. All I need is to be there with Rowena, who is dying. Now, if you don't mind, leave me alone. Go away.
It seems that the medicine effect is fading. Please stay still.
Don't. I'm fine. Just let me go with my wife.
I'm sorry.
When I woke up, The dizziness was back, as well as the luxurious room. But this time, I was sitting alone, with Rowena's shrouded body on the bed. Beneath the glare of the censer, there were faint traces of the shadow. It was there, breathing with greater freedom. I turned my glances to the pallid and rigid figure upon the bed. Then, a thousand of memories of Ligeia rushed upon me. I remained there, without being conscious of what time it was, until a sob, low, gentle, but very distinct, startled me from my reverie. It came from the bed of ebony. I listened in an agony of superstitious terror, but there was no repetition of sound. I strained my vision to detect any motion of the corpse, but there was not the slightest perceptible. However, some minutes after, I noticed a barely evident thing of color that had flushed upon within the cheeks and along the sunken small veins of the eyelids. "Rowena?" She didn't answer, and before I could do anything, the color disappeared from both eyelids and cheeks. The lips became doubly shivered and pinched up in the ghastly expression of death. A repulsive clamminess and coldness overspread rapidly the surface of the body, and all the usual rigorous illness immediately disappeared. I, again, started having passionate waking visions of Ligeia. About an hour later, I was second time aware of some vague sounds issuing from the ebony bed. It was a sigh, rushing of the corpse. I saw a tremor upon the lips. There was perceptible warmth that pervaded the whole frame, and even a slight pulsation of the heart. "Rowena lives!" "Rowena, say something, so that I know you're still here." It was all in vain. Suddenly, the color fled, the pulsation ceased, the lips resumed the expression of the dead, and the whole body took upon itself the icy chillness, and again I sunk into visions of Ligeia. I started hearing a love sob once again. This night has been a nightmare, and I feel dizzier and more lost than ever. This hideous drama of revivification has repeated, and it seemed like each agony wore the aspect of a struggle with some invisible force, and that each struggle was succeeded by an unknown wild change in the personal appearance of the corpse. I couldn't handle this anymore. I noticed that someone had closed my room's door. I sat on the floor and stared at the bed, waiting for something to happen. Rowena once again stirred, and now more vigorously than before. The hues of life flushed up with the energy into the countenance. The limbs relaxed, and the eyelids were yet pressed heavily together. I might have dreamed that Rowena had indeed shaken off, utterly, the fetters of death. I slowly started going back to my senses. I found myself in my bed, connected to a machine that measured my heart's pulse. The sound of the birds woke me up. It was overwhelmed that all the luxury items of the room were gone. Rowena was gone, Ligeia was gone, only the doctor who, again, entering the room.
We have to talk, since last night was not the best moment.
About what?
The reason you tried to kill yourself. After both your wives died because of their illness, you apparently start having episodes of depression and you almost commit suicide. Luckily, someone called an ambulance and you end up here. However, we need to give you a strong medication that will keep you calm, but it seems like it doesn't work as you keep hallucinating and the events that happen during those months.
So, nothing of what happened in the past days really happened?
No, you were alone in your room all this time. Now, I will let you rest. Your health is getting worse and you continue hallucinating things.
So, I finally understood. I was just reviving all the events that happened in my life before I tried to kill myself. I kept talking to myself, and I can blame the medicine that I was given, but there was something I could still not figure out. My brain had paralyzed, and it had chilled me into stone. There was a mad disorder in my thoughts. Could it be the living Lady Rowena who confronted me? Now that I can think properly, no. I can never be mistaken of the figure that was in front of me. Those were the full, black and white eyes of my lost love, Lady Ligeia.
You were hearing Ligeia by Edgar Allan Poe. Seriously, what a beautiful and tragic story. Did you enjoy it? Remember you're listening to Radio Tide 307.1 FM. Please stay tuned tomorrow for another incredible story. Have a nice day.